In the world of cybersecurity, it is not enough to simply detect a threat. This is because detection alone does not provide protection against cyber attacks. I'm pretty sure you often hear about the importance of threat detection. And I really want to emphasize one more time that detection by itself is not enough. Today, in this webinar, we will explore why proactive detection is essential and how to build a robust cybersecurity strategy. My name is Dr. Ardaloskaya, and I work as Chief Information Security Officer at Exitium. I have many published books translated to multiple languages. I speak in many conferences such as Black Hat, Microsoft Ignite, and many community events. So let's stay in touch if you'd like to. You can always follow me at LinkedIn or in other social media platforms. So, what is traditional security? Traditional security is like fighting a fire after it's already ablaze. It relies on detecting threats after they have infiltrated your systems, leaving you vulnerable to damage, breaches, and downtime. It is a reactive approach in a world that demands proactive protection. So, let's get into the details of traditional security to give you more idea what you are facing or what you are dealing today with and why you need to change your approach. Traditional security is detection based. It means it only recognizes and prevents known malware, leaving you vulnerable to unknown threats. What do I mean with that? There is always a lag when a new malware is introduced, and a solution can be created. In other words, there is more than 450,000 new malware released to the wild every single day. With help of AI, the challenging or sophisticated cyber threat landscape is leaving you unprotected with your current security solutions. So you should find a way to change your security approach. What else is traditional security? Traditional security is detection based, and the 0-day threat lag means you are unprotected during that window. What was a 0-day? A never seen attack before. Mostly used by nation states or advanced sophisticated or ATP groups. They are sold in dark web for millions of dollars and usually used by advanced targeted attacks. So what if you are a victim of this attack? How can your threat protection protect you against those kinds of threats? As I mentioned a few minutes ago, detection is like a fire alarm. It alerts people that there is a fire, but the fire alarm does not stop the fire from spreading. Similarly to detection, does not prevent cyber attacks from happening or the damage they can cause. Detection-based traditional security methods have several disadvantages. They often rely on known threat signatures, making them ineffective against new unknown threats and zero-day attacks. Additionally, these methods can be slow to respond, allowing threats to cause damage before they are detected. The traditional security approach also tends to focus on perimeter defenses, which can be bypassed, unfortunately, easily by sophisticated attackers. Protection, on the other hand, is like a fire suppression system or a locked door. It helps prevent fires from spreading and protects valuable assets from theft. Let's compare detection to protection. As I mentioned a few seconds ago, detection only informs you about a cyber attack. As you can see from the figures, detection does not prevent damage caused by cyber attack. Why? Because the cost of a cybersecurity attacks increases every single year. And if you look at this year's cyber breach report by Exitium, by Verizon, by IBM, by Microsoft, you will see that unfortunately the sophistication is getting higher and the cost increasing accordingly. What else? Protection prevents cyber attacks from happening, where protection also reduces and eliminates the damage caused by a cyber attack. We at Exitium use the method that is seen on your screen. First of all, we analyze, and we are one of the, I think we are the only, but we are one of the very few companies that analyzes and gives a trusted verdict with 100% of the files on your network. Probably we are the only one. We put this in our patent containment environment with our zero-day virtualization, where we look and check all unknown files. From there, we investigate, we compare the file with several statistics. We use dynamic techniques, including state-of-the-art machine learning, with precise detectants and dynamic behavior signatures. From there, we move to verdict, which is the ability to give a trust verdict within 45 seconds on 92% of the files, and 4 hours on the remaining 8%. And this is where we have our experts analyzing these files for you. This will eliminate most of the attacks and give you more secure environment. Why protection is essential? You all know the cybercrime is rising. The attacks are getting more sophisticated. The stake is getting higher. The damage is unfortunately counted by millions of dollars. Besides you losing your trust, your credibility, and so on. Protection matters because your data is important. Protection matters because you as CISO, CIO, CTO, CEO, or even non-technical person are in the same boat with the technical people. Your financial security relies on this. Based on the IBM data breach report, you can clearly see that 62% of the organization that have been breached go out of business within just 6 months. So your business continuity relies also on your cybersecurity. Forget about just business continuity. Let's say you are in the minority for 38%, which doesn't go out of business. Then you're going to face up a fine by your regulator. For example, if you operate in US, outside of US, in Europe, based on GDPR, you can get up to 4% fine on your revenue. So if you're $1 billion company, 4% revenue of your revenue as a fine can unfortunately cost a lot. You might be an organization, a government organization, which means your cybersecurity means national security. Your cybersecurity means the security of your public. The cyber attacks happen in California. For the ones that don't know, threat actors tried to hack the water dumps, and they changed the chemicals to poison millions of Californian residents. Or in upstate New York, there was a similar cyber attack, but this time attackers were after to open the water dam to let the water flow and damage not just lives, also the economy, not just human lives, also the environment. So cybersecurity is more important than I think we can all imagine. In other words, cybersecurity is no longer optional. It is essential. When we look at the pillars of cybersecurity, we have three important pillars. One is prevention. How can you create prevention? Prevention involves measures to stop attacks before they happen. This includes strong access controls, regular vulnerability assessments, and of course, secure configuration of systems. Containment limits the impact of an attack if it does occur. This can be achieved through network segmentation, isolation sensitive data, and implementing, of course, zero trust principles. Resilience ensures business continuity in the face of an attack. This includes data backup, recovery, incident response planning, and disaster recovery. Just to be clear, the word containment is different. It sounds, it's the word containment here is, of course, what we have also patent as containment, but there are two different contexts, okay? This containment is not a patent. This is just a pillar where our containment technology is patent, which I mentioned a few minutes ago, and we can cover in details in the upcoming webinars. Detection is not protection. Detection should be reactive. It should identify threats after they have, after they breached your defenses. Like a smoke alarm going off after fire has started. Damage has been already done. On the other hand, protection is proactive. It prevents threats from getting in at all, like having strong locks, as I mentioned a few minutes ago. Think like this. Detection is finding a leak in your board after it's already sinking. Hold on, I'm sinking. What I'm going to do with the leak? Where protection will reinforce the hull of your board to prevent leaks in the first place. Detection is essential, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. A truly secure system prioritizes prevention, stopping threats before they can cause harm. What do we do at Exitum? It is important to acknowledge that detection failure is not a hypothetical scenario, but a real and growing concern. The factors that I list in the slide in front of you can contribute to an increasing gap between the capabilities detection systems and the ever-evolving threat landscape. So, the limitation of detection will let you face evolving threats. You are open to zero-day attacks. The sophisticated obfuscation, unfortunately, is going to harm you. We all know that the systems that we're trying to protect are complex. This includes the human element, which is the weakest. So if you do not employ the right solutions, then you're not going to have the right protection. What are the other limitations of detection? It's time for you to get the reactive approach before the damage hits you. By the time the threat is detected, the damage is already done. The data breaches, system downtime, financial losses can cause you or leave you in trouble. Detection systems rely on recognizing patterns and signatures, as we spoke before. So we have to find a way to stop all these attacks before they even happen. And for that, we're going to recommend you containment strategies. It's all about damage control. Yes, besides having a proper network endpoint solution, you should have network segmentation, which is going to help you to secure your network. If a segment is compromised, the attacker can't easily move laterally to the other segment. Sandboxing is important. It allows you to test suspicious files in a safe environment before they can harm your systems. But we still have an issue here. There are, in the main, 3 cybersecurity postures. 1, allow all, deny bad. 2, allow good, deny rest. And 3, allow good, but also allow the rest with ASR, which is attack surface reduction. Let's talk about this a bit more. Allow all, deny bad. means you're gonna deny the bad trying to detect it by using AI, ML, heuristic, or behavior analysis with EDR. I must say, the result speaks for itself. Breach after breach, damage after damage. The amount of money spent in cybersecurity versus damage sustained is unacceptable. All because of a poor posture choice. Posture 1 is not a posture you can achieve. It is impossible posture. You cannot deny bad if you don't know it's bad. Mathematically impossible. Detection cannot be or should be neither the first nor only method of protection. As we talked about this, 100% detection does not exist. It is a scientific fact. No cybersecurity can detect 100%. Bottom line, allowing all while denying bad means when you miss a detection, you get breach. So this posture gives you a guaranteed breach, mathematically speaking. Yep, guaranteed breach. You will be breached. And if you remember few slides ago, let me quickly remind you here, I mentioned that every year the cost of cyber breach is getting more and more expensive. What about containment? Ask yourself this question. How will you prevent the damage when your cybersecurity product fails to detect? No matter what detection method you might have, the latest and greatest AI, machine learning, heuristic behavior, signature, or so on. They all are trying to detect something bad, and they can never be 100% true. I just proved this for you. Coming back to posture 2, allow good, deny rest. It is a posture you can achieve, but unfortunately it is not user-friendly. Why? Because people don't want to restrict and want to run applications. I worked in many enterprises before. I was a CISO in one of the world's biggest banks. Before that, I was working for a Fortune company, which is, if not number 1, number 2, but for me is always number 1. And unfortunately, I dealt with many breach customers, or fortunately, I dealt with many C-level suites where sometimes they try to bypass the security policies because they need to complete an urgent task. They don't want to be restricted. There is even the IT team. We had a solution when I was working at Microsoft, which was state of the art. It was reducing the cyber attacks by 99.9%, but it was nearly blocking everything. And every time we came back to revisit that customer, we found that they always open a back loop to bypass the system that we built, which is a multi-million-dollar service that we used to provide. It was flawless, but the flaw was created by human because it was making the environment extremely strict. While it was reducing the attack sector, unfortunately, it was also creating some other gaps in the human layer. So, containing unknowns at execution is good, but as I mentioned, we have to find a new posture. And here's what we do at Exitium, where you allow the good, but you also allow the rest. But in an environment with an ACR, what was ACR again? Attack surface reduction. This way, you are not restricting users by denying any application from running in their computer, but you are denying any unknown ransomware, malware from causing damage because they run in a restricted ACR mode where they are not allowed to cause damage. And this is what we call containment. This is our containment, which is in word the same meaning with the pillars, but it's patent for us, which no other security vendor provides. And we highly recommend you to use it. So what is the difference between extreme containment versus sandboxing or whitelisting or application control? First of all, flexibility versus restrictions. Application whitelisting only allows pre-approved or trusted application to run. Pre-approved or trusted applications, okay. What about all other applications? They are blocked by default. Yes, while this sounds good, it's not practical. It is restrictive, and as I mentioned 3 minutes ago, humans gonna find different ways to bypass it. With us, exceedance containment, we will allow unknown or untrusted applications to run. But as I mentioned before, in a secure virtualized environment, this gives flexibility by letting users continue to operate without interruptions, while the system ensures that the unknown files are safely contained that can't harm the system. It has minimal impact to users, and we minimize the burdens by automatically handling unknown files without the need for constant manual intervention, allowing you and your users to run any applications while keeping the system secure. We are your proactive cybersecurity partner. We employ zero dual containment. What is that? It neutralizes threats in real time. We run on zero trust architecture, where we never trust but always verify. We focus on prevention and proactive security measures. We just mentioned in the beginning of this webinar that traditional security methods are not good enough to protect you in your organizations. In summary, think of this way. Detection is a burglar alarm that goes off after the burglar is already inside the house. Prevention is strong locks, reinforced windows, and a security system that deter the burglar from entering in the first place. So you don't have to play catch up with the unknown. You don't have to deal with false sense of security, because thinking that you buy that Gartner product, saying that we are also in Gartner, thinking that buying the product that everybody uses is sometimes going to give you the extra confidentiality that you're secure. And it might let you think that you ignore the root cause, because detection tools don't address the underlying vulnerabilities that attackers exploit in the first place. It's like treating the symptoms of disease without addressing the underlying cause. Detection is just the beginning. To conclude, remember, a truly effective cybersecurity strategy requires a proactive approach that prioritizes prevention and containment. You need to implement a multi-layered defense system with a strong security practice and advanced solutions like we offer at Executive. By taking a proactive stance, you can significantly reduce your risk and protect the organization from ever-evolving threat landscape. My name is Dr. Adaluskaya. I hope you enjoyed the session, and if you have any question and answers, my team and I, we are here to help you. Thank you very much for watching.